Good thing none of us have a fear of heights, right? None of us?
Toi, c'est pas très haut. Ah! Ok. Est-ce que c'est très dangereux? Ça va sauter en plus.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
C'est pas la bonne touche. Oh. Ok, heureusement j'ai des coéquipiers hein, qui font tout le boulot. Les coéquipiers chez Rakanon, c'est éternellement ça. Et là, je vois pas comment j'aurais fait tout seul. Donc du coup, ils étaient en train de disputer le repas. Ah, il y a même des ascenseurs ici, à l'intérieur. Ah bah d'ailleurs, je vais devoir le prendre, je pense. Voyage rapide, extérieur du labo de chimie bas. Ah, bon, ok. Mais pas tout de suite, j'imagine, je vais peut-être ressortir par là. J'entends le bruit des monstres.
This is not the most conducive site for research.
Ok, j'ai la page 4, il manque plus que la page 1. Centre de synthèse et de manufacture. Et ça m'embête vraiment parce que... Comment on y va? Centre de synthèse et de manufacture bas. Je sais pas la partie haute. Ici sans doute. Mais ça me dit pas comment aller ici quoi. Peut-être pas pour tout de suite, parce que je vais m'acharner sur quelque chose que je n'ai pas accès pour l'instant. Ah voilà TP. Je la ferai en deux parties cette quête, c'est pas grave. On va repartir sur la quête principale qui me demande, j'imagine, de retourner sur le manoir. Ah non, Terra 2. Ok. Ah, c'est quoi, attends. J'y vais.
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
Captain, Imagine my surprise when I saw the unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news. Too bad. But on the bright side, you've outdone my old freelancer. I don't think you made it very far at all. If I know Spacer's Choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it. No, I think you're going to have to rely on good old-fashioned detective work. It's a good thing you have keen senses, a reliable ship, and a very wealthy sponsor. No, but I'm overjoyed that you had the courage to ask for one. You should always expect more from your employer. I seem to recall that Mother worked closely with Gorgon's R&D personnel, but not close enough to invite them over for dinner and cocktails, if you get my meaning. By now, they'll have moved on with their lives. If only I could do the same. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time.
Pour les effets secondaires, j'imagine.
What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late. Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend. A drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise.
Un produit aussi miraculeux. Ouais, voilà.
I don't know. And thanks to Spacer's Choice, we may never find out. I know that I'd like to see a colony where the promise of adrenatime was fulfilled. And I doubt I'm the only one. Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes? Ta!
Ok. Et du coup, je dois aller... Ah oui, d'accord. J'ai pas compris que j'étais là. Je dois prendre l'ascenseur. Je me rappelle du chemin. Je peux pas TP directement d'ailleurs. On va peut-être commencer par ça. Et énormément de TP dans cette ville. Je peux TP depuis l'ascenseur. Oui. Pourquoi il me demande d'aller là-bas?
Oh, there. That's one right there.
Collection de la famille. Okay. Accroché juste devant la porte, ça, ok. Bonjour.
Welcome to the Musgrave Family Collection. Still a work in progress. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful
Pourquoi tu te
behavior.
sens obligé de préciser que ce sont...
This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating. Then you should have told me that before I greeted you. Defaulting on a verbal agreement is a punishable offense. Now then, how can I help you? Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his Canid La Place into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left. We find that our clients enjoy the appearance of participating in illegal activities. Secrecy contributes to a feeling of indecency. The Musgrave Family Collection was intended to be a gallery of fine art. And here we are, using this place to practice semi-legal Canid shows. Scandalous, isn't it? That's privileged information. I really shouldn't tell you.
Oh.
That's a fair point. All right, I'll tell you.
Oui.
But just keep this between us.
Guaranteed secrecy is expensive, you know.
Oh, it's all right. I'll give you this little secret for free. The Musgraves own one of Earth's largest private collections of art and literature. They were going to have the entire collection shipped all the way to Halcyon. Unfortunately, that collection never arrived. We haven't heard anything from the delivery convoy, and there's some purely hypothetical concern that the collection might be, well... I was going to say indefinitely delayed by unforeseen and unknowable circumstances, but
Retardé
yes,
indéfiniment à cause d'une circonstance inconnue et imprévisible.
Anyway, that's as much as I can tell you. Will there be anything else?
Bon. C'est quoi cette forme de bureau? Bonjour.
Oh, just hear me out.
Directement au but.
Hey, Maverick Johnston's newest star. I've got a question for you. Do you know the interesting thing about Canid shows?
Non. Oui, c'est ça.
Good instincts. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about Canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough Canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph. Putting the us in...
No.
I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly. Yes, that's us. Mostly oak trees, too. My grandfather invented them, you know. Well, no, he didn't invent mostly oaks, but he did purchase the naming rights back during the terraforming days. It's essentially the same thing.
Ok. Je vais sortir un truc qui n'avait rien à voir.
Oh. Then you're not here about
Non,
my
bon, non, pas
monograph.
vraiment.
It's true. I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. I was wondering if you were the sort of person to accept sensible advice or respond with threats of violence. Thank you for resolving that ambiguity for me. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the chem lab and human inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know 2 people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Right, of course. Thank you for reminding me. Point well taken.
Tout à l'intimidation.
I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way we don't have to rely on mutual trust. The grand prize trophy to the Quäsiment review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have.
Concours de quelle idée?
Yes, but the winner is still in deliberation.
Ah,
The committee won't deliver a
la
result
corruption.
for another 6 to 8 weeks. Bureaucracy. The trophy's being held in a vault at the other end of this hall. Find a way inside, disable any security, lift,
Ah oui,
carry,
j'ai carrément
deliver.
volé le trophée, quoi. Il veut pas être gagnant, il veut le trophée. Ok. Bon. Bah, inventaire, personnage, journal.
You know, the What, really?
Ah, j'avais pas validé.
While you're technically correct, my case, I did. Head into
Voilà.
the main.
Je pensais avoir validé.
Oh,
Alors, oui, de toute façon, c'était la seule porte qui était ouvrable.
It's not Quäsiment hunting I object to, it's the impropriety.
Ah oui, d'accord. ok. C'est-à-dire que je peux faire un carnage en bas. Quoique. Parce que la discrétion, c'est pas vraiment mon truc.
Great work.
Ok.
Easy does it.
Je sais pas si c'est définitif. Carte d'accès au technicien. Ok.
Try me?
Je pense que c'est définitif, hein, je vais pas m'embêter avec un truc pareil. Pour faire la discrétion.
We're alive.
A pet's only as good as its owner. They're the ones who ought to be in here.
Ok. Ah ok, c'était juste pour l'éviter en attendant qu'il fasse le tour.
Nicely done.
Et je reprends l'ascenseur, ok. Je me retrouve pas dans une zone interdite. Vous avez découvert un trophée, bah oui, il est en face de moi. Oh, j'ai pas le niveau pour ouvrir. Ça choque personne que je sois de l'autre côté de toute façon. Visiblement non. Tout le monde s'en contre-fou que j'ai voulu le trophée.
I don't know what's worse here, the leashes or the folks holding them.
Content, tu vas voir ton petit trophée.
Never cared much for hors d'oeuvres. The word is just grotesque. All those superfluous letters ruin my appetite. My trophy! Look at this thing! Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the order of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers. Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I see you're familiar with my technique. I'd love to show you my numbers, but there aren't nearly enough napkins in this room. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe.
Parce qu'ils sont pas injectés le produit.
Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated.
Ok.
As far as I know, Jasper Lowe and Marion Blakesley are the only 2 surviving researchers with high-level clearance. If you want to lift the lockdown on the manufactory, you'll need to send an override from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I'm afraid it's the only way. Try to exercise caution. It's good. You...
Oh, mais...
No need... My eye! I was
c'est
wondering where I'd misplaced that
Bah oui,
overthing.
il me dit bonjour clairement.
It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique
Bah oui, je suis con.
dimensions, not unlike a
C'est moi qui lui a
fingerprint.
servi à ouvrir
The
la porte.
circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no.
D'accord.
Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. Yes.
Le conseil, réputation, ok. Ouais. On fout un peu de la réputation du conseil, mais c'est pas grave. J'ai level up compétences. Projetage. Allez, encore un niveau et je serai à 150. Je peux ouvrir les portes à 150. Ok. Et donc dans le journal, bah, j'ai eu deux personnes à trouver, donc deux quêtes évidemment. D'Olympe et le précurseur, ok.
Easy.
Non, ce serait sur mon vaisseau que je voulais taper. Yes.
Someone has left a threatening message on your terminal, Captain. I was unable to... Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Bah t'as dit que j'ai un message.
See you soon, Captain.
Sur mon... Donc ce serait... Là-haut? Là? Ça, ce truc-là? V1, nouveau message. De erreur. Quel joli vaisseau vous avez là. Petite fouine. Ah, c'est l'autre qui a piraté. Imposteur enregistré au nom de Alex seulement. Ce n'est pas vous, n'est-ce pas? Ce vaisseau, vous l'avez volé. L'ancien propriétaire n'en avait plus besoin. Tout comme vous comptez me voler. Si je vous privais à mon tour d'une chose qui vous est chère, votre vaisseau, votre équipage, votre vie par exemple, ce n'est... Piratage, scanner la balise la plus proche de relais. Balise la plus proche, relais, amas de... ok. 95. Examiner l'ID d'origine. Ah, j'ai pas le niveau. Ah, je peux pas faire un deuxième piratage. Dommage. J'ai combien en... personnage, compétences. Ah, j'ai que 83. Zut. Des clubs cosmiques. Non.
Please avoid damaging yourself or others.
Entrer dans la résistance de Marion. Ah non, c'est un truc spécifique. Oh, ok. Un truc à moult étages. Ouais. Et bah du coup, on va s'arrêter là.